It's 3 a.m., and your eyes snap open like someone flipped a switch. You're not fully rested, but your brain is suddenly ready to problem-solve your entire life. That pattern is common, and it usually isn't random. A 3 a.m. wake-up often happens when your sleep is naturally lighter, and a trigger pushes you over the edge into full alertness. The good news is you can work with your biology instead of fighting it. In this guide, you'll learn the most common causes, from stress hormones to temperature swings to blood sugar dips. You'll also get a simple plan for what to do in the moment, so the wake-up doesn't turn into a 2-hour spiral. And we'll cover the habits that make these wake-ups less likely over time. Think of this as troubleshooting, not self-blame. Your job isn't to force sleep. Your job is to remove the things that keep waking you up. Moving to slide 2. First, it helps to know what your body is doing around 3 a.m. Sleep moves in cycles, and as the night goes on, you typically get more light sleep and more REM. Light sleep is easier to interrupt. At the same time, your circadian rhythm starts preparing you for morning very gradually. Core body temperature begins to shift, and hormones that support wakefulness start to rise later in the night. So 3 a.m. sits in a zone where you're more wakeable than you were at midnight. That doesn't mean something is wrong. It means the system is sensitive. If you add a noise, a warm room, a worry, reflux, or a bathroom signal, you can pop awake. The key takeaway is this: the wake-up is often a normal moment, and the problem is what happens next. If you interpret it as danger, your brain turns on the lights. If you treat it as a brief detour, you can often drift back. Moving to slide 3. One of the biggest drivers of a 3 a.m. wake-up is stress physiology. When you're under pressure, your brain stays on guard, even while you sleep. Studies link higher stress and anxiety to more nighttime awakenings and lighter sleep. Around 3 a.m., if your mind catches a thread, an email, a conversation, a worry, it can trigger a surge of alertness. You might notice a racing heart, warm skin, or a sudden urge to figure it out. That's not you being weak, that's your threat system doing its job. The mistake is trying to argue with it in the dark. Instead, you want to send the opposite signal: safe, boring, and not urgent. Your goal is not to solve the problem at 3 a.m. Your goal is to lower arousal so sleep can return. In a minute, we'll cover exact steps. For now, remember this: the more you chase sleep, the more awake you get. Moving to slide 4. Another common cause is blood sugar instability. If your evening meal is light, very early, or heavy on fast-digesting carbs, your blood glucose can dip later in the night. For some people, that dip is enough to trigger stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol because your body wants to stabilize energy. The result can feel like waking up wired, sometimes with a hollow stomach or a jittery feeling. This doesn't happen to everyone, and it's not a reason to panic eat at night. It's a clue to experiment with dinner composition and timing. Many people do better with a balanced dinner that includes protein, fiber, and healthy fats, and not leaving a huge gap before sleep. If you wake often and suspect this pattern, track it for a week. Note what you ate, when you ate, and how the wake-up felt. You're looking for correlations, not perfection. Moving to slide 5. Temperature is a sneaky 3 a.m. culprit. To sleep well, your core temperature needs to drop slightly, and your environment has to support that. If your room warms up overnight, or your bedding traps heat, you can drift into lighter sleep and wake. People often describe it as waking suddenly and then realizing they're too warm. On the flip side, being too cold can also cause micro-awakenings, especially if your hands or feet get chilled. The fix is usually practical. Keep the room cool and consistent, and use bedding you can adjust without fully waking. Breathable materials help. So does reducing heat sources near the bed. If you wake at 3 a.m., do a quick scan. Are you hot, cold, sweaty, or dry? That one check can stop you from blaming your brain when it's really your environment. Over time, dialing in temperature is one of the highest return sleep upgrades because it removes a trigger you can't think your way through. Moving to slide 6. Light is another reason 3 a.m. wake-ups stick. Your eyes and brain are extremely sensitive to light at night, especially blue-rich light. Even a small amount can suppress melatonin and tell your circadian clock that morning is closer than it is. Common offenders are hallway lights, street lights through a gap in the curtains, and the biggest one, checking your phone for the time. The instant you look, your brain starts calculating how many hours are left, and that mental math becomes fuel for stress. A better approach is to make your bedroom time-blind. If you need a clock, keep it turned away. Use blackout curtains or a sleep mask if light leaks are consistent. If you must get up, keep lighting very dim and warm-toned. The goal is simple: no bright signals to the brain. At 3 a.m., you want your environment to say, "Night, still night." Moving to slide 7. Sometimes the wake-up is physical. Caffeine, nicotine, or certain supplements can fragment sleep. Caffeine is the classic one because it blocks adenosine, the chemical that builds sleep pressure. Even if you fall asleep fine, caffeine can reduce sleep depth and make awakenings more likely. And sensitivity varies a lot. Some people can handle an afternoon coffee, others can't. Hydration and bathroom trips can also play a role. If you drink a lot late in the evening, your bladder may become the loudest signal in the room at 3 a.m. The solution isn't dehydration. It's front-loading fluids earlier and tapering later. Also, watch for reflux or heavy spicy meals close to bedtime, which can cause discomfort when you're lying down. The practical move here is a 2-week audit. Keep everything the same, then adjust one variable at a time. Caffeine cutoff, fluid timing, and meal timing, so you can actually see what changes the pattern. Moving to slide 8. Now let's talk about the mental trap that turns a normal wake-up into insomnia, clock watching, and catastrophic thinking. The moment you think, "If I don't fall asleep right now, tomorrow is ruined," your body responds like it's under threat. Your heart rate rises, your muscles tense, and sleep gets further away. This is why the best 3 a.m. skill is cognitive de-escalation. Replace the emergency story with a neutral one. Something like, "This is a normal wake-up. My job is to rest." Rest still helps, even if sleep takes time. Also, stop doing sleep math. Don't negotiate with the clock. If you can, remove time cues entirely, and give your brain a boring focus that isn't emotionally loaded. Simple counting, a familiar phrase, or imagining a calm, repetitive task works better than replaying conversations. The goal is to make wakefulness uninteresting. Sleep returns when the brain stops scanning for problems. Moving to slide 9. Here's a simple, repeatable protocol for the moment you wake up. Step 1. Don't check the time. If you already did, let it go and move on. Step 2. Take 10 slow breaths with a slightly longer exhale than inhale. That pattern nudges your nervous system toward calm. Step 3. Do a quick body scan. Hot or cold, thirsty, need the bathroom, uncomfortable position, fix only what's necessary and keep it minimal. Step 4. Choose one anchor for your attention. A gentle count, a single word on each exhale, or imagining a slow walk through a familiar place. If you're still wide awake after about 15 to 20 minutes, consider getting out of bed briefly and doing something quiet and dim, like sitting with a book that isn't exciting. Then return when you feel sleepy again. This trains your brain to associate the bed with sleepiness, not struggle. Keep it calm. Keep it boring. Moving to slide 10. Let's go deeper on breathing, because it's one of the fastest ways to reduce nighttime arousal. When you're stressed, your breathing gets shallow and quick, even if you don't notice it. That signals your brain that something is happening. Slow breathing does the opposite. Try this. Inhale gently through the nose for about 4 seconds, then exhale for 6. Don't force big breaths. Quiet and easy is the point. If counting makes you more alert, switch to a simple rule. Make the exhale longer. Another option is a physiological sigh, which studies suggest can reduce stress quickly. That's 2 small inhales through the nose, then 1 long exhale through the mouth. Do a few rounds, then return to normal slow breathing. The win here is not perfection. The win is shifting your body from on to off. If your mind wanders, that's fine. Just come back to the exhale. Over time, your brain learns that 3 a.m. is not a crisis. Moving to slide 11. If your brain is busy at 3 a.m., you need a safe place to put thoughts so they don't bounce around. The best tool is a worry container routine, done before bed, not at night. Spend 5 minutes writing down what's on your mind, then write the next tiny action for each item. Not the whole plan, just the next step. That signals closure to the brain. If you wake up anyway, remind yourself it's already captured. If you don't want to write, you can do a quick mental version earlier in the evening. Name 3 concerns, then name 1 action for each. Another powerful habit is scheduling a daily worry window, like 15 minutes in the afternoon. Paradoxically, giving worry a time slot reduces it at night. And if you tend to wake with ideas, keep a notebook nearby and write a single keyword only. No planning, just a placeholder, then back to rest. Moving to slide 12. Let's cover the "should I stay in bed or get up" question, because this is where many people accidentally train insomnia. If you stay in bed for long stretches while frustrated, your brain starts linking the bed with wakefulness. Sleep researchers often suggest a simple rule. If you feel calm and drowsy, stay put. If you feel tense, restless, or mentally activated, do a brief reset out of bed.
Keep it low stimulation. Dim light, quiet room, and a boring activity.
The point is not to be productive, it's to let sleepiness return. Then go back to bed. This can feel counterintuitive, but it protects the bed-sleep association. Also, avoid screens during this reset, because light and novelty wake the brain. If you live with others, plan a night setup in advance. 1 chair, 1 lamp, 1 book, so you're not improvising at 3 a.m. The easier the routine is, the more likely you'll use it. Moving to slide 13. Now the long game. How to make 3 a.m. wake-ups less likely. Start with a consistent wake time, even after a rough night. That anchors your circadian rhythm more than a perfect bedtime does. Next, get bright light exposure earlier in the day, because it strengthens the day-night signal. Movement helps too, especially earlier rather than right before bed. In the evening, protect your wind down. Aim for a predictable pre-sleep routine that tells your brain the day is done. Also, watch naps. They can be useful, but long or late naps reduce sleep pressure and can increase nighttime awakenings. Finally, consider whether your sleep window matches your actual sleep need. Spending too long in bed can fragment sleep. Sometimes a slightly later bedtime, while keeping the same wake time, consolidates sleep and reduces 3 a.m. wakefulness. This is where experimentation matters. Change one thing, hold it for a week, and see what happens. Moving to slide 14. Finally, let's cover when a 3 a.m. wake-up might be a sign to dig deeper. If you snore loudly, wake up gasping, or feel unusually sleepy during the day, it's worth discussing with a clinician because sleep-breathing issues can fragment sleep. If you wake with chest discomfort, severe reflux symptoms, or panic-like episodes, that also deserves professional input. Frequent urination at night can have multiple causes, and it's not something to just push through. And if low mood or persistent anxiety is part of the picture, addressing that can improve sleep quality over time. Most importantly, don't let one bad night become a story about your identity. You're a person who had a wake-up, not a person who can't sleep. If you want one takeaway, it's this: treat 3 a.m. like a fork in the road. Choose the calm protocol, keep the environment boring, and focus on consistency the next day. If you found this useful, subscribe for more practical, science-informed sleep strategies. And comment with your most common 3 a.m. trigger: A. Racing thoughts, or B. Feeling too hot. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Aging is data. Your body responds to inputs.